Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Brains and Beauty. I'm a PhD student studying brains and also a beauty lover, and on my channel I focus on creative conscious consumerism. Today's video is actually a really fun swatch party, so I had a whole other video planned, but then these arrived, and so I ordered this Touch of Glam order back in November of 2022, and they just arrived, and I'm so excited to take a look at these. This is my first time trying Touch of Glam. They've been on my wish list for a long time now. I remember when they first released Lucid Lavender, and that was like such a unique, beautiful shade at the time, and since then other brands have released similar shifting shadows to Lucid Lavender. I got the Shine by SD version and did a whole video on that, so I'll link that up above, but it's been on my radar since then, and that's what I think is actually really special about Touch of Glam. I feel like she tends to get newer pigments and is able to create products out of these new pigments faster than other brands, so when she releases something, I'm usually more likely to be like, oh, I think this actually is something that's unique and hasn't been created by other brands that make multichromes. Like another example is when she did the holographic multichrome combination. That was so special and unique, and I just feel like she's always really innovating. So I've had my eye on Touch of Glam for a while, and for this first order, I just got 4 shades. I wanted to investigate the different formulas from a couple of the different lines before I purchase more colors. So let's get into swatching these 4 shadows, and I'll discuss more about why I chose each shade when we get to it. These came really well packaged, as you can see, so I'm pretty happy about that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, I've been really curious about this shade. It was a limited edition one, so I just want to start off with this one. It's in the shade Dream. So this was part of the limited edition Halloween collection, and it was inspired by the Sandman series. And she came out with 4 shades. I'll put like on the screen the shadows that she created. I just feel like it's so pretty, this like marbled effect, and I don't know, I just think it gives so much dimension because you guys know I love making build your own palettes, and there's something so satisfying about a shadow looking like really interesting in the pan, and so I actually do like marbled shadows. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Wow, you guys. Do you see the sparkle? I'm gonna show a couple different lightings while I swatch these. So right now I have natural light from a window facing this way, and then I also have a ring light. So I'll show you with and without the ring light, and then I'll also bring a flashlight. So if I turn off the ring light, we're seeing more of that blue, I think. But yeah, you can definitely see that gold sparkle. I'm going to try and put it out of focus so that you can kind of see the sparkles more. Sparkle reflects are this fuchsia pink, a bit of green, a bit of orange gold, but mostly fuchsia pink for the sparkles. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, the moment of truth. I'm going to swatch it first just with natural light, so put these aside. Okay, this is super soft. Okay, this is not exactly what I expected. It's giving me like, it's like a purple and green, which I thought it would more be like a pink and green. Okay, you can definitely see right there, right? There's like the pinky purple, there's peach, there's gold. You can see more of the gold there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't played with Revenge in a while, so I will have to compare in a bit. But I feel like in the images online, this looked like it was more of a lime green, whereas when I have it now, it looks more like a blue, more like a turquoise blue. Okay, that sparkle is definitely a hot pink sparkle. So that part, yeah, it's like a very, very intense hot pink sparkle. And then the shift of the base is like gold to turquoisey green. Okay, let's take a look at the other shades and then we'll do comparisons with the rest of my collection. Okay, so this is Hello Hollow. I'm gonna leave that till the end. Okay, this is a super popular one online, Shine Me a Kaleidoscope. Oh, one thing I will say, usually in my swatch videos, I'll say what the brand says these things are. One thing that I don't really like about Touch of Glam is on their actual Etsy website, in the description when you click on a shade, they don't have the exact descriptions. They don't say, oh, this shifts from light blue to gold to pink or whatever. It kind of just tells you what the collection formula is rather than that specific shade. So that is something to keep in mind, but I chose this one because just everyone was raving about this one. And so I really did want to see it, and I also really did want to feel what this formula was like. Supposed to be a very soft, creamy formula. So this is from their Color Me Multi collection, the Metallic Pastel Mega Chrome. So I think moving it back and forth, you can see the sparkles, but in real life, like right now with no flashlight, I don't see any sparkles when there's no flashlight, so just keep that in mind. Unlike this one, I can fully see the sparkles when I do this in real life by the natural light. For this one, it's very, very fine, and so you don't really see the sparkles. It's more, I guess, a metallic formula. But yeah, you can see when it's tilted on the side, there's just really deep purple indigo, and then there's the blue, and then there's the goldy green. So let's give this a swatch. Oh, okay. This isn't as creamy as I thought. I thought this would be like a cream in a pan, but it's not like that. It does disrupt the pan quite a bit, as you can see. Oh, she's pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Okay. I know I shouldn't have to dip in that much, but I'm just looking at all the colors. Oh, this is electric. Wow. Okay, I need a moment. I need a moment with this shadow. Okay, I just want to understand something here. Give me a second. Oh my gosh, there is a pink. Okay, okay. So you can see the blue, the green, you can see the gold right there. And it can turn completely gold. And then you see the base is this indigo purple. But what's also special that I want to show you, okay, in this moment, you guys are seeing this electric blue, right? I'm seeing a beautiful rosy pink and lime. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I haven't done this before, but I think this will really capture it. So I'm filming with one camera, so that's what I'm gonna have over here. And then on the right, I'm gonna put another camera that's filming at the same time, and I'm gonna show you the other angle. How cool is that? Okay, so while you guys are seeing this, this is what I'm seeing on the right. Do you see how there's that lime green and then that pink and gold? That's kind of incredible. And then if I tilt a little bit like this, you really start to see the indigo blue, and then to that electric aqua blue, and then to the lime green, and then we have again the gold and the pink. Yeah, this shadow is so shifty right now on camera in your angle, and it has even more shifts, and I think that's what makes it really special. Okay, So this is from the Unnamed Part 2 Multi-Shifter Collection. This is the 15th. And I just wanted to try one of her like more regular circular pan shadows. And also, I'm hoping that this is one of the like super rare pigments that I've seen online, but like in a shadow. So we'll see. So again, this is one of those that just looking at it right now, it doesn't look sparkly at all, but with the light, it has very, very micro fine sparkles. They weren't anything, like they weren't gold, they weren't silver per se. I feel like they were just like a very neutral sparkle. I'm gonna give it a swatch. This is very soft. I think all her formulas are very soft. I was gonna say maybe swatching this next to Shine Me a Kaleidoscope would be unfair to this shadow, but you know, they're actually not that different in price. So this one is 25 Canadian, while that one is 27, so just a couple dollars difference. Okay, my initial reaction was confused. So let me explain. The special kind of pigment that I've been kind of searching for a brand to make is a silver shift with blue, and this does it. Like there is a silver shift here, so let me... I think you can see it right there. But it also has like the softest hint of a pink. I'm gonna have to compare it though to my iridescent shadows like Gloaming from Cliona and also the one from Glaminatrix, just to see if this is a dupe to those, because it's giving me a similar vibe. Okay, I feel like you can see there what I'm saying in terms of there's this like very neutral silver, and then it goes to a green and then a blue. The base that you can see is not strong at all. So for this shade, it's almost transparent, but there's like a very light lilac-y gray. Okay, I think I can conclude looking at it at different angles that it's not a pink. I wouldn't classify as a pink. I feel like if I had it on my eyes, I wouldn't think it's a pink. It's very much a like almost warm or a neutral silver. So it's not a very cool tone silver, but it doesn't strike me as pink. Like you don't see that reflex shining through. You don't see that as a sparkle or anything. So yeah, that's how I would call this shade, like more of a taupey silver that goes to a green and blue. And at some really strong angles, you can see like a soft lavender, but I wouldn't say it's strong enough at all. Like the impression I would get from the shadow is not one of those that goes from like green to blue to purple. It stays more strongly in the realm of blue. I will say though, you can kind of see these two, their shifts are aligning in terms of where the gold is, where the blue is. So it's possible that this is the same pigment, it's just that in Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, the really dark purple base makes the pink and the purple pop and makes all the shades richer. Yeah, do you see they're really lining up? Okay, we're definitely going to compare these with the other iridescents in my collection, and I'm also going to swatch them over a darker base to see if we can duplicate the Shine Me a Kaleidoscope effect. But before we do that, let's get to the last eyeshadow that I got. So I got Hello Holo. So you can definitely see with the flashlight all of the sparkles. This is like a rainbow of sparkles in the pan. But without the flashlight, I wasn't seeing anything. It just looked like a gray. As you can see, it's looking like a kind of a deep gray shadow. Okay, you can kind of see it with the ring light, but I think you're really going to need a flashlight to get the full holographic effect. Ooh, okay, okay. Wow. The holographic is so beautiful. Like an actual like fractured rainbow. So you can see how sparkly and rainbow-esque Hello Holo is. Okay, so that's all of the 4 shadows that I got from Touch of Glam. I will say before I give my final thoughts on these, I do want to do comparisons to see just how unique they are to my collection. The Hello Holo is going to be super unique because I don't own any other holographic shadow. I will say one thing that I was wondering about this is if this is a pure holographic pigment, I was wondering if I would be able to kind of layer it or mix it with multichromes and kind of be able to make any multichrome have a holographic shift to it too. And so that's why I got the like pure holo one, because I wanted to test that out. And you guys know I love mixing and figuring out if I can have like a reduced number of eyeshadows that just together all do it all. So I will see right now to test it out. I'll swatch it on top of, let's say, Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, and let's see if we can amp it up and make it a holographic Shine Me a Kaleidoscope. Okay, I just put on like the sheerest amount. Oh, you can see now my finger has all of Shine Me a Kaleidoscope on it. And so I don't think it dulled down Shine Me a Kaleidoscope a lot. Let's see if this sparkles holographic. Oh my god, it does! It does! Oh gosh, I hope I can capture it for you guys. Oh, I feel like it does, but also there's just so much going on. Wow, okay, so yeah, it can totally be used as a topper, just with a very sheer amount, and you will get that holographic sparkle on top of your multichrome if you didn't want to like have to buy a bunch of different multichrome holographic shades just because you want to have both. If you already own those multichrome shifts, you can get away with using this as a topper. So for the final parts of the video, I decided to actually do things a little bit differently. So I stopped the video there, and then I decided to play over the next few days in different lightings with all of my eyeshadows and see if there are any dupes, and then also see if there are any layering dupes so that I could come back and then concisely just tell you my findings. But of course, I ended up chatting a lot in this portion, so it didn't really do what I wanted it to do, which was shorten the amount of time for this portion of the video. But in the next video, I'll make this portion just completely voiceover so that it'll be a lot faster for all of us, for me to edit and for you guys to watch. But I'll just voice over this first shadow comparison, and then the rest kind of, I said everything I needed to say while swatching, so I'll just leave that in. So starting with Dream, Dream is a hot pink with an emerald green shift, but when it switches to the emerald, sometimes it gets a little bit murky, and so it can resemble Helix Nebula from Terra Moons. But Helix Nebula really does not go to that lime green. Like, it has a strong gold in it, and maybe at really harsh angles you could see a lime, but it's in real life you can't see a lime. So for a moment I thought these two were similar, but really it's just that their warm shades all align and their cool shades all align, and they both have that murky blue base. But as you can see, their tones are completely different. So the warm tone in Dream is a hot pink, while the warm tone in Helix Nebula is a red. So I would say they're definitely different, and they're also more different in their texture. So Dream is more sparkly and foiled compared to Helix Nebula. Another comparison that I wanted to make, because it has a similar like murky blue base, is Shine by SD Revenge. But that one is clearly nowhere near these two, because while it does again line up like the warm shade with the cool shade with the others, it has a very distinct purpley pink instead of like a warm purple or warm pink. And then the green is this really strong grassy green instead of any kind of murky or emerald type of shade. So yeah, despite their bases, these are all very different shades. You can see their most prominent colors: the hot pink, the warm red, and then the bright hot purple. In case this is something that bothers you, there's a little bit of staining on my finger from Dream, but it's not that much. So now for this row. So for the 15th, again, I wanted this kind of silvery baby blue minty shift. And again, I will say this is the closest I have in my collection to that type of shift. And it actually is unique. So you'll see it compared to all of these. It is quite unique. So out of my iridescence, the closest one is actually Luxe, because it has the same like green and blue, like those tones, those like electric tones, it has those in it. But it's not the same as Luxe. Like, it's not another version of Luxe, because Luxe has this really strong yellowy green, The 15th does not lean into that yellow. It leans into the neutral, warm silver instead of a yellowy gold. So that's why then I thought that maybe gilding could be a closer dupe to the 15th, because gilding has a silver in it, like an actual silver shift, and it also has gold and green and blue. But the golden gilding is super warm, like a orangey strong gold, and its shift of green don't really align with the 15th the way that Luxe does. Like, I know on camera here you might see this and you're like, oh, it is a yellowy gold. But now let me show you Luxe. Do you see how Luxe is like an actual yellowy greeny gold? While the 15th in comparison, now you can really see how more neutral it is. See that like warm silver that almost goes to pink, but it doesn't. It goes to like a neutral skin tone type of shade. So yeah, for gilding, the gold is just way too orange compared to the other two, so it definitely is not a dupe. And although you can't see this really in the swatches, but on my finger you can see the silver and gilding. The shift is actually at a different area on the finger than for the 15th, so the shift is more to the left, while the silver in the 15th, the shift is more to the right, so more in the shadows or indirect light. I'm going to swatch baubles. Now, baubles and gloaming are pretty much the same thing. I showed this in a previous video when I got baubles, so I'll just swatch baubles. Baubles is what I thought of first when I think of like a blue and gold and pink, and I just want to show you that it's not this type of shift. Do you see how baubles is like obviously pink? That type of color never pops up from the 15th. It's just like a warm silver. Okay, so in terms of Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, I have nothing in my collection that could like compare to this. But I will say that perhaps these iridescents over like a purpley blue base could lead to this sort of effect. So that's what I wanted to test. So now we're at the portion of the video where I like to look at how iridescents layered over different bases can actually change the tones of the iridescent shifts and then make them dupes of shadows that already exist. For all the bases in the picture, I basically used Slave from GLAM and also this purple tone to create the same kind of base as is in Shine Me a Kaleidoscope. And what I found is, even though there is a very strong warm type of pink in Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, it's nothing like putting baubles over a darker bluey purple base, because baubles ends up all over the palm being pink and this kind of more cool tone fuchsia pink, whereas Shine Me a Kaleidoscope is a warm pink and it's mainly on the edge of the palm. So that's kind of like where the center of the eye would be. So you'll see baubles at the top of the palm in those pictures, but I'm not going to swatch it out in the video again because I just feel like it definitely was not a dupe. In terms of these other shades, so the 15th is definitely the closest. Shiny Kaleidoscope is like taking the 15th and where that warm silver kind of just stops there, push it a little further so it does become a warm pink. And so that's how Shiny Kaleidoscope has a little bit more of that shift in it. But they both align in terms of like the silver and the blue. So I would say the 15th is the closest. Gilding I thought might work because there is a very bright gold in Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, but gilding just shows gold all over and then green at the edges, so this one isn't close either. I'll swatch right now for you guys the 15th and Luxe over a dark base compared to Shine Me a Kaleidoscope because that's the closest comparison. But in all the pictures you can see the other shadows as well, so like, do you see this really strong gold? I really thought that because it had this, that maybe gilding would be similar. But you can see in a picture when gilding has that kind of super strong gold, Shine Me a Kaleidoscope looks more like a whitish yellowish gold. And then in that angle, the 15th looks more silvery. Okay, I'm going to do something slightly different, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference, but I just want to see. So I have this more pastel-y purple, and I just want this tone. I feel like I could probably bring these a little bit more to the purple side. I'm going to go in with this cobalt blue. Okay, we're getting there. It's not as purple, but okay, yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to see if the super purpley base is able to mimic this effect when we layer these two on top. So the one thing you'll notice that's a similarity between Luxe and Shine Me a Kaleidoscope is that at a harsh angle, they both have that like super indigo purple shift, while the 15th doesn't really reach it. Shine Me a Kaleidoscope also has that moment when it's like a green. I think they all have that kind of green in them. But you can see that Shine Me a Kaleidoscope goes past just like a really strong limey green, and it starts to enter more of a warm gold area that neither the 15th or Luxe go to. But you can see from my pictures, gilding that is below Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, it goes to a further gold than Shine Me a Kaleidoscope. And it doesn't go to as much of a like navy blue. So you can see like there are similarities in terms of that like aqua blue, the fact that there's like a gold running through here. Shine Me a Kaleidoscope kind of takes on both of these, so it has the edges of like the super navy blue and purple of Luxe, and then it goes to more of a warm yellow than Luxe does. So you can see that there, like the warmth really comes through, and then it keeps going until it becomes like a warm pink. So it goes past the kind of neutral tone of the 15th. So yeah, I really don't think these types of gold, green, blue, iridescent multichromes can dupe Shine Me a Kaleidoscope. I do think the 15th is kind of like the softer version of it. So if you feel like you're someone who like this is really pigmented, really strong, like almost like a rainbow, because it goes from like a warm pink to gold to green to blue and actually purple, like it really shows all of those. If you feel like this is too strong for you and you want like a softer version, I feel like the 15th is like to me, this is like an angelic color. Like I would call this like angel or something because it goes from this really soft, like warm, silvery, pinky neutral to that minty green to the beautiful sky aqua blue. So this one's like a softer version of Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, but it still isn't Shine Me a Kaleidoscope over a purpley blue dark base. So that's something that's interesting. To me, that makes these two unique enough for me to keep both in my collection. And then on this side, basically Aura is the only iridescent multichrome I have that has that like hot pink shift to it. And because Dream has the hot pink shift to it, and then goes to more of like that like vibrant emerald green with a murky blue base, I thought that perhaps Aura over like a murky green or a murky blue base could be similar to Dream. But in doing so and trying, what I actually found out, which is just like mind-blowing to me, is that Aura topping this sort of hot pink over a bluey green base actually is a dupe for Revenge, which I would have never thought that because I think of Revenge as like this purple to green. So I really never thought of this hot pink as being sort of the top shade. But you can see when I swatch it that they really align. So you can see the base to this shadow is more of this type of smoky blue. So I'm going to go ahead and take Slay again, but like a really soft layer of it. Like I'm not I don't want it to be too pigmented. I'm going to put a bit of a green matte in here just so that it can be more of a bluey green. Yeah, okay, I feel like, do you guys see how the bases are the same now? So then we take Aura. I'll do a swatch of Aura below it. And now let me do a swatch of Aura on it. How cool is that? So yeah, it's a literal dupe for Revenge. Like, it doesn't get more clear than that. So yeah, I am super stoked that I found this dupe. Super exciting. But yeah, it was unexpected because I always think of this one as a hot pink. So now I'm thinking of it more in my mind from now on as like, yes, it's a hot pink, but it can also turn into like a hot purple. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's so cool when I find dupes like this. I'm like, because I really thought that when Touch of Glam was the first to create Lucid Lavender, that pigment was like a new pigment that like the manufacturers created. But I always had Aura in my collection and that was an actual dupe. So yeah, I would say I found a dupe here that was unexpected, but neither Revenge or Aura look like Dream. Dream has its own type of pigment going for it, and so it doesn't look like these two, and so I don't have an iridescent that actually could create Dream. Because the only other warm to green iridescent that I have is Halo, and that one is more of like a fiery orange to green. So yeah, I think this one's very unique to my collection. Shiny Kaleidoscope as well. It's similar again to the 15th, but it's just still not able to be duped by it because it really does go to a very warm pink. And you know, again, like I said, I'm very picky about when pinks are in shifts, and this one is such a beautiful warm pink. Like, I can't wait to put this all over my eyes. This is giving me like Barbie, like Princess Pegasus, like that kind of vibe. I feel like it's, to me, a very purpley blue multichrome and then with like a rainbow in it, and it's just, it's everything. So I'm really happy with this shadow. I love Dream. Even though like the marble, it's a bit like, it got a little bit messy, you can still sort of see that there's something going on in this shadow that's really cool. So I love the marbled effect there. And 15th is beautiful. I have played with this one a lot on my eyes, and this on the inner corner is so metallic and reflective and gorgeous that like this might be my favorite inner corner multichrome. I'm happy I tried out these eyeshadows. I'm going to put them all back in my palette now. Okay, so that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it being a little bit shorter than the other videos that I typically do with swatching. If you like this video, please give it a like, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this type of format. Did you like having the extra pictures and me kind of coming back and just telling you my findings? I will say for like a small haul like this, which is just 4 shadows, it was okay to do it the old way, but I feel like the next haul video that I'm actually going to post for you guys, which is 8 shadows from Shine by SD, I noticed especially then, I was like, oh, this is going to be like way too long, and so I'm doing a similar format to this in that video. So that video will go up next week. If you're excited to see that swatch video, then please do subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!